Yeah, I can't really believe this at all. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at an announcement for a game by the name of Docked. And this is incredible because this is coming from the same folks who made SnowRunner and who recently made Roadcraft. Saber Interactive on this one, both developing and publishing. It's incredible to see how many different vehicle games they've come up with. And I wanted to talk about this game and also some of the others that they're working on, because I feel like these guys are now starting to become the kings of, hey, let's make a game about vehicles and let's make it really, really good. And man, we need more games like this. Well, welcome back. Good to see you all here. Just recently announced this game coming out sometime TBD. We don't know exactly when yet. It looks like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I see it only being single player, which is a big bummer because really, honestly, a massive port is not something that can function without many people working different jobs, coordinated to get those ships offloaded, trucks loaded, and cargo moved around safely. And it's the same with games like, Construction Simulator, where there's 4 players on that one, and I believe that's from Astragon. And yeah, that needs way more players too. Like Farming Sim, for example, having up to 16, where it's kind of best for 4 people to work each farm, but it's nice to see that many people moving around. But regardless, this game looks amazing, and I want to see both Saber Interactive, and also sometimes they're published by Focus Interactive too. Sometimes they self-publish, but Focus also behind some of their games too, doing a great job with all the other things that they've been working on. These folks also made like the Space Marine game. They also made a lot of the spooky games too. They teamed up with like Evil Dead and John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, and I think there was also a Hellraiser remake or remaster, something going on there too. But these guys are moving and shaking on like horror zombie games, and they're also working on vehicle games too. Another one I wanted to talk about that they're working on is called Busbound, and this is great because the king of maybe like mass transit and like police and emergency used to be Astragon. The same folks who made Construction Sim, the same folks who made Police Sim are making other busing games too. But these guys now, Saber Interactive, is making a bus simulator. And I wanted to talk about this because I feel like this is all going to be the same quality and the same feel. And if they nail it, then that means we have like a new, like bare minimum quality for all sorts of different games going forward. These guys are getting aggressive of taking over all these different types of industries and like jobs and like perspectives on things. They're making their own cities for some of these games. They're making their own ports, and they're hopefully going to make more things. Like maybe we'll see an airport simulator, maybe we'll see a recycling simulator, games that possibly could be big multiplayer, like this one here. Busbound is multiplayer. Now imagine if we can get more and more games where we can get these huge interactive worlds with up to 10, 12, 20 players, or like an MMO, vehicles moving around, people driving buses and trucks, something similar to I think it's a Motor Town, the one where you're on an island. Here's some footage from the game I mentioned before, Toxic Commando, and I just wanted to show this off because this is the range of these folks. And so we're getting like a zombie game that looks like Left 4 Dead or Back 4 Blood, or really just like incredibly like realistic looking, but also the centerpiece is a vehicle. Like it's like, hey, let's make a zombie game, but let's put a vehicle in the middle of this game. So here we are with like a Humvee that's got like a tow launcher and miniguns and other things on it, ambulances too that you can drive around. That's cool. So I hope to see Saber Interactive really branching out and trying all these different things. This game has like a little bit of a realistic landscape and terrain where you can get stuck in the mud, and maybe you can get high centered and have to like winch your way out. But so going back to Docked, I love the world that they've showcased, but yet again, we have ourselves a situation where it's like you've inherited the family business. It's literally what they say on the Steam store page, and it's like, are you kidding me? This would be a almost billion-dollar operation of ships and trucks and all the equipment at the docks coming together. And so it's like, save the family business. You inherited a dock. Like, you're the only person who works there, really? Getting all these standing cranes and stuff. I'll show some pictures here throughout this video as well of some of the other things that they're showing off. But, I mean, it looks great. I really think this is an amazing idea, and would love to see something like this in, like, ATS, American Truck Simulator, or Euro Truck Simulator, or even a train simulator, too, where other players are driving trains and trucks around in real life, like very realistic. But then there's also a crew that has to deal with the port, or has to deal with the the rail yard, loading and unloading trains onto trucks, so that way players can then drive those around. If we could get something like that, maybe it'd be more possible in Euro Truck to have something like that. The possibilities, man. those are endless. I mean, seriously, we can kind of do a little bit of that in Farming Simulator currently, although that's made by Giant Software, and those folks allow you to load and unload trains of things like grain and carrots and potatoes, and even equipment sometimes too that you can load on the trains and bring it to where it needs to go, or maybe even logs. But yeah, I think what we really honestly need is new ideas like this from Saber. We need up to like 12 to 16 multiplayer, because these jobs just simply do not happen without multiple people working on them. It doesn't matter how much AI and robots you have. This is a game players want to play, so it's going to have to be a player-done job, and a lot of people are going to want to do it. So we need that, plus maybe ATS and Euro Truck's map size and realism, and that would be more than likely $1 billion project, a big risk. It would almost be something along the lines of Star Citizen, but it needs to happen. At some point, somebody needs to take a risk and say, let's take rail, and let's take road vehicles, and let's take a location like a port or a rail yard or an international airport, and let players be in charge of loading and unloading some of these vehicles, and also transporting the long distance. We need the realism of the actual loading area, or the logistics area, the hub, but then also we need a bigger map as well to drive around. And games come close, like a Motor Town, but that's being made by like maybe 1 or 2 people or something like that. But this level of realism would be outstanding. So what I'm seeing here in this video too, just to point a few things out, just to get back on track with Docked, I'm seeing the ability to move a few things around, like it looks like those giant like jacks looking things, like the HESCO barriers, but for, I forget what they're called, but they're for water erosion. Looks like we can move some of that stuff around, and it does look like we can buy a ton of different equipment and vehicles in this game, which you definitely want. But then we're talking about the grind. You're going to have to do everything in single player in this game, and it'll be available for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and then Steam. So you're going to have to do everything from loading and unloading cargo, purchasing things and getting it to where it needs to go. And it looks like disasters can happen too. So, a cargo ship can come in and be a complete mess. Perhaps there'll be a way to go out into the water as well with a tugboat or something and be able to clean up the ocean if things fall off, or if there's, I don't know, some sort of a hazard out there. And so we have a lot more to see on this one. This initial trailer there is good. You can see some of the things being moved around. Looks like we can, drive the trucks, drive the cranes, maybe drive the boats, and then of course buy and customize things too. But for a single player game that has a very ambitious kind of like scale to it, yeah, we need multiplayer, and I'll continue to champion that to the end of the world. It's the same with Roadcraft too. I want more than 4 players in that game, but man, that was so fun to just build roads in that game. So imagine building a port even in single player in this game. Looks really good. So anyway, I guess I'm going to compile my final thoughts here and just say that Saber Interactive is doing a lot of great stuff. They're coming up with new ideas, and they seem to usually work. It seems like a lot of people get behind everything that they do. And their games have a different, almost more polished feel than what we get from like Astragon, and around the same lines of like Farming Sim a little bit. There does seem to be some like, mechanic simulator in this game too, of repairing equipment, and I like that. But I must say that Saber Interactive, Giant Software specifically just for the Farming Sim stuff, and then Astragon are like my 3 favorite developers for games around vehicles and like industries. And then of course there's other various publishers that they work with too. But yeah, hope to see more of this game in the future. Hope to see a big old reveal trailer on like kind of more about what you can do. This is a great announcement trailer, and it's got me excited for all their other games, like I mentioned, Toxic Commando, Busbound, and a lot of other ones that they continue to release and talk about. But you guys wanted me to talk on this one, so there you are. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on Docked, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.